Hey guys, how's it going? Not bad here. Got my Dave & Buster's cup full of yummy water. Couldn't find my microphone stand, so if you guys can't hear me, let me know. I can always turn it up a bit. I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight. We're doing some more coding. So, just bring everybody back up to speed. We've set up our website now. We got the membership working. We are ready to go ahead and finish up the sign up page. That will get to a point where now we can have new users come in. We can have them log on to the page once it's done. We're going to be sending some emails through code. We're going to be doing a bunch of other neat stuff here. So let's see what we got going first. Excuse me. So this is where we were leaving off. If I'm not mistaken, we were able to get this part done. We got populating some questions. We got doing the placeholders for the codes. That's all good. Some of our check boxes here. So let's see where we gotta go from here. Oh, first thing we need to do is put a button on there. Because, I mean, they can't hit the sign up if they don't have a button. So we're going to go ahead and Server Explorer button. Just a little tip, if you double click any of these, it doesn't matter what you do, wherever your cursor is, it'll automatically put a button. So let's name this button sign me the blank up. Nah, we're just going to do simple sign me up. There we go. So we got the sign up ready. We'll have a button on there. But what do we do once we click? Let's say they fill out everything accurately, meaning no errors. Everything is exactly how it's supposed to be. The friend code has all numbers in it and dashes only. First name, last name isn't blank. Email is a valid email. Security question, they filled it out. Let's say they've done everything right and they click the button. How do we send them to? Do we send them to another page? Do we keep them on the same page and it shows something different? I like doing that second one. So let's go back up to the top. We're going to keep sign up there because that's... Actually, no. We're going to put sign up in it. So we're going to use what's called a panel. We got panel. What a panel does is it allows you to put some controls of a web page on it, and you can hide everything from view, or it can show everything. So your initial panel, I'm trying to be smooth here and it's not working with me, is your sign up page. Control D, make it pretty. So by default, I'm going to show this panel. We're going to make another panel here that we're not going to show them right off the bat. We're going to do a sign up good. Do one more. Let's say they're already a user. That's basically our two outcomes. They're either A, signing up and then checking their email, or B, they're going to go ahead and have to reset their username and password, which we'll show here. So we're just going to do reset password And this one we're just going to write some check your email. I'm just doing this to keep myself on track of what we're trying to do here. Just some placeholders. There we go. Let's go back to the back end because now we have a button on there we can do something. So let's, in this middle drop down, we're going to find the button, B, sign me up, and we want to do the click event because you're clicking on it. That's pretty much it there. And it does all the heavy duty work for you. Perfect. Now when we click, remember, it does a post back. So if post back, do we want to do anything prior to the button? We can do the form checking here, but if they just hit refresh, it's technically a post back. Remember, in order to not post back, you have to go to the page fresh, like you're just typing in the URL the first time. Or if you remember, I showed you just click in the address bar, hit enter. There, this is not going to do a post back. It's going to do just a first time pull the code. Since we did some editing, that's why it didn't come up so quickly. This is going to take a moment to refresh. We're going to get back into coding here. So we got to check a couple things here. So looking at the web browser, we have to check if they have a first name and last name. I know it's a moot point nowadays. That's what everybody asks for. Email, I'm going to check, is it a valid email? 1. 2, is it an email already used? Because if it's already used, then that's a completely different story. We can tell them that they already have a username and password, and we're ready to go. If their friend code, dream code, or designer code have been used once already, we don't want to have one user with multiple accounts. And in the security question, we're just going to make sure, do they have an answer? Oh, if you see here, check your email password. We forgot to hide those. Let's go back. We're going to do visible, false, copy, paste. There we go. That's fixed. So let's do some checks here. So we're going to do a Boolean. I'm just going to call it B. Already user. So we're going to use that later on. As Boolean equals to false. So they're not already a user. Good. Dim s air as string. Nothing. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go through some of these checks and balances here. Now here's a new little one for you guys. It's called a try, catch, and then we also have finally. Basically what a try, well, you normally just use try, catch, unless you need to do something afterwards, whether there's an error or not. You can use finally, but what try will do is it'll try to execute all the code that's in between it and the catch. Let's say somewhere along the line there's an error that's thrown. That's what we're doing right here. We're generating an error. You can generate your own errors and capture them later on for different reasons. And that's what we're going to be doing here. But as soon as you hit the error, it doesn't matter what else is below it. It goes right to this catch here. It'll execute what's in the catch. And then finally we'll do whatever else you need to do. It's pretty much the same thing as if you went ahead and, I mean, you can technically do it down here, but actually we'll be using the finally. I don't use it often enough. Let's do it. First, let's go ahead and check the most important parts. is this person already a user? So we can do a couple things here. First, let's grab a member. So let's check membership dot. Let's see, which one could we use? There's a couple options we can do here. Find users by email. What will this return? This will return a membership collection. So a collection is just like a list or an array. Basically has multiples of the same item. So it would have multiple members by a particular email. We can also use name because we're using the email as a name. All good there. We can do get username by email. That's going to return a string of the username. So it should return the email. I think that might be the easiest one since we're doing unique emails here. Shouldn't have any duplicates. We'll do that. So smemname. Now let's grab the email. Well, even before that, let's test to see if it's a good email. So if is, oh, we don't have an is email. Do we have anything that would work? Well, you guys aren't even seeing this. I hate that it's not showing you guys all the drop downs. So let's try and do if is email, but we don't have an is email. And we pretty much have nothing here. Oh, is valid. Let's see if it's valid. If the page is valid. But we're not doing any on-page validation, so that's not going to work. So let's create our own check here. I was meaning to show you guys this, but we're going to create a class. So we'll go to app code, and all your extra classes are going to sit here in app code. So right click add, and you can tell class right here. We're just going to call this one utils. These are going to be all of our utilities that we use later on. So let's see here. We're going to create a wonderful little function. We're going to do, instead of doing the normal, like your functions in here, which are private, that means they can only be accessed by stuff inside of this class. We're going to tell it, let's make it public. So we're going to do public, and then we're going to do shared. Shared is basically telling, what does it say for shared? It specifies one or more declared programming elements are associated with all instances of class or structure. Basically, remember last week I was doing new this, new that, new this. So like when we do our database, we do dim my db is equal to new my database context. New actually tells it, hey, we're going to do some stuff before we set up this whole class, but we're not worried about that because this is just a utility class. We don't need to start things up. So we're going to do shared, and we're going to say is email. String, we're going to come in with where the parameters we're going to do s. Oh, I forgot to do public function is email. So with the function, functions will return information back to the program. Subs just execute a bunch of code in the middle of something. But we want to get some response back. So we're going to do function. If in function email. We want to take in a parameter, which is the email as a string. Now we have to tell it what you want to send back. We're going to send back a true or false, or a boolean. There we go. So let's take a look at what we can do. I mean, I could loop through, let's say we have email test account at gmail.com. I can look to see if there's a @ sign or some text before the @ sign, text after the @ sign. Same thing with the dot, has to have a couple characters before and after. Okay, I did have a question come up here. What is Boolean? Boolean is pretty much what we call a binary or a bit, or true or false, yes or no. It only has two values. In our case, we're going to return a true if it is an email. We're going to return false if it's not an email. But let's see. Just trying to figure out what the best way would be to check for. I mean, there's a lot of complex ways of doing it, but we actually have an email system already set up in here. You don't know it yet, but it's already there. So let's do a try catch, just in case. If there's an error, we're going to return false, because if there's an error, we're going to assume that it is not correct. But if it is correct, we'll return true. Okay, them email. We're just going to do verify email. That's what the V stands for here. As new system dot. I'm just going by the seat of my pants here. .net. Mail address. There we go. And we're going to pass it in s email. So if we pass s email into this function here, it's going to try to parse out the email for us. Now this is already written, so we don't have to rewrite anything. We don't have to reinvent the wheel. This isn't about that. This will work. So if this does go through, it's not going to go through the catch. It's going to bypass all of this and return true. If this is not an email, it's going to throw an error. It's going to hit this part. We don't really care what the error is at this point. We just know there was an error. We're going to come back and say, okay, that's not a valid email. Let's go ahead and add this to our project here. Now, every time you want to add or have access to a class that you create by hand, it is almost always best to go ahead and add it up here, but we have to tell it that we want to compile, I believe. Yep, see, content, embed, we want compile. There we go. Save it. No errors yet. So we're going to import from our own project utils. That just gives us a little bit of extra access so we don't have to jump through hoops. So let's go ahead and check for the email. So if is email, let's pass it the email, tb email dot text is false. So we only care if it's not a good email. We're going to do s error plus equals we're going to tell it to please enter valid email. And at this point, we're going to throw an error. Throw exception s error. Oh, throw a new exception. This is where we need that new. So what that's going to do is we'll skip these lines here and go right here. Did we set up a label over here for any errors? No, we didn't. So we gotta have some place to show the errors. So we're gonna do a label. I just do L error. We're gonna take out any text. We want to show nothing at the moment. Foreground color. We want to make it so they know it's something wrong. Make it red. Perfect. There we go. So this is just gonna throw an invincible block up there. It's only going to be filled in when we tell it to fill in right here. So L error dot text is equal to. Wait, how do we get the S error text? Simple. The exception has its own set of properties here. And when we did the throw error as a new exception, right here, whatever we put here will be in message. There we go. And then just for the sake of arguments, so we don't have any other code, exit sub. I use that just so it doesn't execute any finally, it doesn't hit anything else below here. We're good. So if there's no email's not good, don't even check anything else. Tell them, hey, look, you didn't even put a good email in. And we need that good email for this next part. So we're going to do if smem name, and we're pulling the username by the email. We're going to check to see if it's greater than 0. Because if the member doesn't exist, this member name should not equal anything. It should be completely blank, 0 characters, out the door. So if it's greater than that, let's be lazy. But we don't want to throw a new exception here. Actually, we don't even want to do any of this. Remember, we had a reset path already user. Well, let's just do something here. Are we using H1 up here? Try and keep things the same. Actually, we don't know if we're doing an email or if it's something else. Ooh. So what can we do here? Well, we don't have a link just yet, but we will. You know, some people are like, whoa, wait. 2 spaces? What, wait. The same registered? Well, we're gonna do some dynamicness here. We're gonna put another label. Call this one L. Can't use air because we've already used it. We're gonna do L dupe info. Great. So this will at least tell them, hey, look, there's an account that already exists. Just go ahead and reset your password and everything. So if the member is a valid member, then we're gonna hide the sign up. We're going to show already user. We're going to fill in the duplicate information. Email. And we're going to exit sub. So what we're going to do here is we are hiding this top part, showing this bottom part, filling in this blank here, which doesn't matter if we have label, we can take that out, or any text here, because this will automatically overwrite it in our code. So we've already checked if they are an existing member. Let's check their friend codes. So before we check friend codes, might as well do ms friend code string equals to, let's see, remove we don't have remove. Look, another thing we don't have. We might need that later on. So let's go back to our utilities, make another little function here. In fact, we had a function on one of the pages. I think it was our default. Oh yeah, look, code splitter. We're gonna take this. We're not gonna delete it right now. We're just gonna copy it because we'll eventually move it somewhere else. We'll do public shared function. Now that can be accessed somewhere up. Public shared function code smasher. And we're just going to remove dashes here. So we're just going to do return scode. Actually, no, we're going to do a little bit more than that. Code Smasher is going to remove all non-numeric characters. So, kind of like what we have up here, dim s results as string equal to quote. For x is equal to from 0 to we already know how many characters there are. It's going to be 14. So 1 to 14. That should be the max right there. Let's grab the character. I'm just going to go ahead. Pop that there. And then if is numeric schar. Then we're going to add it to the results. And at the end, return results. Now you might be asking, what if somebody types in number dash number dash number. Technically, they still have 12 numbers there. Doesn't matter what the dashes are. What if we only typed in that? Well, then we're only going to return that. And it doesn't matter what actually is put into it. Only thing we're doing is removing anything that is not a number. And we can actually just do plus alpha remover, because that's what it pretty much is. You know what, let's go ahead and broaden this a little bit more here. Let's say, yeah, we don't know what the code is here, because we can use this other places too. So we're going to say the length of the code. So if we were to put in here, need to be there for you. If I type that in, it will only return 2.4. We might need this later on. Who knows what you're going to need stuff for. So might as well create it like this. So let's go save that. Go back to our thing here. Friend code is equal to alpha remover td. What do we call that one? TV frame dot text. Stream. There we go. Let's check to see if they're valid at all. So if as friend code dot length is not 12, then we're going to do something. So the way you kind of look at this is it's less than or greater than. Same thing as saying not equal to. So if it's not equal to that, then we're going to do s-err. We're going to add some onto there. Plus equals friend code b xxxx dash sxxx dash s. Okay. What if it's valid? We're going to check the database real quick. So let's see, what can we do? L or dim link codes from, I think we called this what did we call it? User profile? Yeah. User profile UPN MongoDB dot user profiles. We want to check for that friend code. So where up dot friend code dot equals s friend code. And even though we don't really care what data it returns, we just want to know how many. We're just going to tell it to select everything. Now let's do another if statement. So if L codes dot length is greater than 0, so we haven't had enough coffee today. LENGTH is greater than 0, then dot LEN oh, it's not letting me do it. I know why. Count. It's going to count how many. If there's more than 0, then we can throw an error. We're going to pretty much do the same thing here. So we're going to put this as friend code. Now let's rinse, lather, repeat. So it'll be designer code without the S. And lastly, dream code. Okay, so we've checked everything that need to be checked via the database right here and right here. Even though we're doing it through the membership, it's still accessing the database in the background. We just don't have to do anything fancy to get there. This is already pre-built. So what have we checked already? Just looking back at our wonderful browser here, we've checked designer code, we've checked GM code, friend code, and email. So we've checked these things here. These three we don't need to check because these are just, you don't have to say, oh, they have to check it. No, they could check it if they want to. So let's go ahead and check first name, last name. This one's going to be pretty easy. Let's go back here. So if tb dot, not dot ans, or tb first name dot text length is less than 1 or 2. I've seen people with 2 characters for names, but not 1. But if they just want to go like L Brown or something, let's just check to see if they've typed in anything. So if the first name, the text in that box, length is less than 1, which means it's equal to 0, then we want to add to the error. S error dot plus equals. We're going to put my little BRs here. These are important once you have several errors showing up. You want them to have a space between them. You don't want to have like a huge paragraph of errors. It makes it easier to read this way. So please enter first name. think about last name. And then what else do we need to check? The security answer. So if T, actually we're just gonna paste it again. Look, boom. Answer. But we want them to type a little bit more than just one character, so we're going to do say less than 2. Okay. So, by the time we get to this point, they can have an invalid email. So I'm not going to throw the exception here because that's going to blow other things up. We'll just do, if the email is valid, we'll check this stuff. Because I still want it to go through, and even if your email is not valid, I don't want it to stop there. I want it to check, is the friend code valid? Is the designer code, dream code first? I want to be able to check all the errors, but there are certain things like if the codes exist already in the system, tell them, hey, look, you already have an account. Easy enough. Or if they already have a membership, hey, you already have an account. Boom, done. So let's throw an error here. So throw new exception. I call them errors. Here they're called exceptions, but it's still throwing some sort of issue going on. We're just going to give it error. So if actually, we have to do an if statement here. So, if serr dot length is greater than 0, then we're gonna do this. So that's greater than 0. There we go. So when we first start off here, we set error equal to quote quote, which is a length of 0. So if it gets past this without an error, gets past all these without an error, and it gets to here, this will still be a length of 0, as long as there's no errors thrown. But if there is an error, we'll have some stuff in there. We're going to send it to here. Why are we going to do that? Because we're going to do the actual creating of the user right here. So let's start off by, let me see. What do we want to do first? Now here's where the dilemma always gets. Should we do the creating of the user first? Should we go ahead create the user profile first? But wait, we need to have that unique identifier for the user profile. So we have to do the member first. So dem mem, so new member. We don't need to do as, because when we do the membership dot create user, it already returns a membership user. Now here's where the fun part gets. We can do a couple of these all at once. Do we want to? Maybe. Well, let's just create the user first. So we're going to need this one here. Username is the email, so td email.text. Password. Oh, we're not asking for a password. You know, we're going to do this real easy. Let's see. So what does our passwords require? I forget again. So we go here. So membership provider. They can reset. They cannot retrieve. Hashed question. Email. Okay, so the length has to be at least 8 characters. We have to have one non-alphanumeric character. So let's do this. We could do like when they signed up, send them out a link with a special code. They have to come back to the website, enter it into another page. No. What we're going to do is real simple. We are going to... Actually, wait, no, we might not be able to do that. Well, yeah, we're going to have them set up their own password. Security answer. So we need 2 more of these. Calls 1, TV pass 1, TV pass 2, and look, you guessed it. Text mode equals password. I did pass 1 twice. And then now I have to check for password too. If pass1 dot text dot length is less than 8, then if it's an error, we're going to do that. If it's not an error, we're going to do tb pass. If tb pass 1.text is not equal to tb pass 2.text, go. We got that. So that's what we got that. Just don't match. db dot pass dot text, and then email again. There, so that should create us a user. let's do the security question. So mem dot we do have to do the security question there. Wait, no, password question. That's read only. Oh, poo. Password question, so this will be TB. What do we call it? TB question? TB security? What do we do? Oh, that's right, it's a drop down. So drop down question dot selected. We can do value or text. If you remember last week, we set the value and the text to the same property, so it doesn't matter which one we use here. Answer will be TD. Oh, this is the TB answer. Text is approved. We're going to say no. We're able to click the status there. Let's do that. Dim. We don't really care what it is. We just want to make sure that it has a variable there. We can check that later on, like print out the stats so we kind of see what it does. But there, we got everything with the membership done. Let's go ahead and do the user profile. Let's just do user pro. As new user profile. So let's set some stuff up. So user dot designer code is equal to designer code. This is the boring part. I promise you. Probably asking, why am I going in order here? This is checkbox for designer dot value. Oh, sorry, dot checked. So this one right here, if it's checked, it'll return true. If it's not checked, it'll return false. Again, that Boolean stuff that we talked about earlier. Like I was saying, why am I going in this order versus what shows on the web page? It's just easier programming wise. No particular reason. Oh crap. You go here. This one's cb friend dot checked. Good. Oh, user. What's user ID? Yeah, that's our GUID. So equals omem dot user profile key, provider key, sorry. And what else do we have? We don't need that because that's the one that automatically increments. So basically we've just filled out this object here, the user profile object. Now let's tell it to put it back in the database. Since we're doing, this is a brand new one, we're going to go to the user profiles database, insert alt and submit. Oh, user pro. Let's say we get an error here. What do we do? Well, they went ahead and we already got a member in there, just the user profile didn't set up right. Well, this is just going to automatically send an error, put it in here. How do we know? It's a good question. We can do, we can just capture it right there. So you're good. Let's just do if, let's kind of capture some of the stuff that's up here. We're gonna steal some code here. So if it did create a user, we're not gonna do this stuff. We're not gonna end sub either. So here we're just gonna do membership dot delete user and the username, which is the email. Yeah, whenever question in the chat says, does this ensure that the password is case sensitive? Now, when it comes to computers, everything is case sensitive technically. So if I did Apple, this is not equal to Apple. I mean, it's pretty obvious when it comes to a computer standpoint, but when you are pulling information from these variables, from these objects here, let's say I can type my first name as Guy, and that's exactly how it's going to come in with caps and everything. So if I were to try to set up a user like that, that's exactly how my name would show. Hey guys, I'll be back in a quick second. I just have to step away for a moment, okay? Okay, everybody, sorry about that. So where were we? So yeah, no matter how you put it, these will send back exactly as I type it. That's where we left off here. Let me see. Back to code. So we did some checking. If the member did get added, we're removing it. Makes it easy enough. What else we need to do? Oh, we need to do some sort of code in order for them to respond back by email. Know that they got our email. They are who they say they are. Let's make a little table here for that. So what are we gonna need? I'm just gonna call these sign up codes. Yeah, you don't need to use this wonderful interface. I mean, if you know some stuff, you can type it in, but there's still some things I don't remember. So what do we need? We need a code. What's our code going to be? Do we really need to do a code? We can make our own unique identifier. We can't tell it to do an identity. But there's a way we can generate that. I'll show you how they actually do it. So, sign up code, user ID, which is also a unique identifier. Let's capture their email as well, just for the sake of it. Let's see what they use for email. So, users. $256. Yeah, look, emails are 256 in varchar. So we can use a varchar 256. We're going to do a CR date. CR just used for create date. You can't use CDate because CDate's a function, so it gets confused. So CR date. Time, get date, and if it's activated or not. So get date's a function in SQL. It just returns the current date and time. Just makes things a little bit easier and making sure that some things are pre-done for you. So we're going to go ahead and create this database table. Update complete. Woo. Let's go ahead and bring it into our database in the code. Sign up codes. Boom. Done. So let's create ourselves a GUID. Well, first, dim sign up code as new sign up code. OSC dot activated false. Nobody's activated anything yet. Nobody's used it. That's why I'm using activated for. CR date now. Now returns the current date and time. Email. Oh, we got the email. We've been using that all along. User ID. That's OMEM provider user key. And then if you remember, when we set up this database, we didn't set up an identity. We didn't tell it to automatically increment because we don't want it to automatically increment. We're going to set up one instance of this code, and that's it. Like we mentioned a couple episodes ago, those unique identifiers, the odds of you getting two of the same ones generated is 1 out of a dual decillion, which let me see. One, two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yep. That is 1 dual decillion. Too much. So OSC dot sign up code ID is equal to GUID, which is what it is. Global unique identifier. Oh, that's what it stands for. Dot new GUID. There we go. Let's go ahead and send an email. Email time. Whoa. Let's go back to our utilities. We're going to create a neat little function here to send email. I'm just grabbing some code from another site here. So let's see. We're going to need 2 functions I've already built here. I'm not going to bore you with having to type them all out, but we're going to modify them a little bit. Oh no, so many errors. I gotcha. Some of these errors will automatically go away. Just have to do some importing of stuff. We've already seen system.net.mail. That's right here. So since I'm importing it, I don't need to worry about all that fancy stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new field, or a new folder, sorry, called email templates. We're going to be lazy about this a little bit. For right now, I'm just going to go ahead and comment this out. We don't really need any of these just yet. So basically what this process email template does is we'll pull in information from one of these templates I'm going to set up here. And it takes some of the hard work out of it. You'll kind of see. I'm going to go ahead and create a new template here. These are just going to be HTML files. So general. I know we can make them text files if we wanted to. HTML page. Okay, there we go. That's what we're just going to call this one new user. So we're just going to grab some stuff here. Here's a template I made for another website. We're going to just tweak it a little bit. There, let's give me some fits here. So home base URL. As you see, we have a couple variables that we have sitting through here. We have the anything between a bunch of equal signs is somewhere where we can go ahead and replace it with something on the other side. URL, application name, first name. We want to welcome you to whatever it's called. We're going to change this here. Please click the link below to activate your account. The rest we're going to keep the same. So let's see what we need. We need base home URL. Got that here. Base home URL, base home URL. Application name. First name. Verify link. Application name. So these are the ones that we need to populate. Right here. So I'm just going to go ahead, pop those in, comment it out so we know what we have here. So home base URL. So let's see what the web says. It seems pretty easy. So we need to do Just looking real quick to see if there's an easy way to do it. Be the host. Well, that's right, we're not. Whenever you're doing stuff in these class files, they have no clue that they're on a website. So we're going to have to tell it to send through what the URL is. Now the URL will be whatever is after the, so HTTP // what do we have set up as the thing? We have Animal Crossing New Horizon .cohol.com. So it would only return this part, which is kind of like what we need here. What else? We have application name. Let's send through app name. S app name. Your first name. Verification link. We don't need a join code, so remember, it doesn't have first name. We're gonna have to send them first name too. And we're gonna just ask for all the stuff here. App name as string. There we go. So this is just going to go ahead, pull up this file, replace what needs to be replaced, give all the information back. We might need more of these later on, we'll see. Give me a second here. There we go. So this next section is how you send the email. We just say who it's to, what the subject is, and what the body. So we're going to pipe this stuff directly into the body. Why don't we do it just here? Because I might need to send an email without a particular template. We got that set up here. So this is just saying sender, who it's from, who it's to. We're just adding who the to is. Subject body, we are sending through HTML. The setup sets up the client, doesn't use the default credentials. Here's my credentials. password is deleted here. And this is just how the port and server are choosing. Real simple. So let's go here to new user thing. Okay. So let's generate the URL on our side. So ms email. We are doing, what's it called, process email template. We're going to use new user. Let me double check that. Yeah, automatically puts the HTML on for me. That's good. Verification code is going to be OSC dot that URL. Here's what we can do. Request dot not user host addressed. Method, no. I'm just going to return the path. I can do raw URL. URL dot, oh, host, there we go. App name. Animal Crossing New Horizon Social Club. And then first name TV dot, not TV dot, TV first. You can use that, or excuse me, first name. Okay, so oh, look in there, because we're returning GUID when we need to return just a string. There we go. Anybody see what we missed here? Forgot to add the sign-up code here. And something else I messed up here, which you guys may have not known about. This is going to insert on submit, but we didn't submit anything. Submit changes. There we go. Submit changes. Great, so we got the email ready. Let's send the email. So send email. To TV email or ouser pro dot email. This is right. This doesn't do the email on here, so it's member dot email. Subject. Verify email, and then what our body is, which is the S email. Okay, are we done? Nope. We're almost there. So we have sign up. We're going to tell that to go. Invisible. we're going to do sign up good dot visible. Okay, so there we go. I think we pretty much have everything here. Let's build this sucker real quick and just test it out. We haven't really done any testing. We did an hour and a half worth of coding or so. Didn't test it once. So we don't really know if it's going to work or not. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and get that refreshing while I switch over to the browser. Still spinning, still spinning. Some of this stuff here. There we go. So let's sign up for an account here. John Doe, email address will be that darn Joe at coho.com. Friend code, we're going to use, I think the other one. Let me pull up that table real quick. Because let's throw some errors. Actually, better yet. It is not set to an instance of an object. Oh, look at that. And we did compile it, so that's not the issue. You know what? I'm going to show you for the first time how to do remote debugging. So I've jumped into my server here. I just have to make sure the remote debugger is running. I'm on the right server? I'm on C3PO. Oh, remote debugger. There we go. Ta-da! So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put it into debug mode. This is probably one of the best ways to debug websites here. And we're going to go from the very top of this button click. Put a little stop sign here. It's a circle. It's not a stop sign, but it's to stop nonetheless. So for those running everything off their one computer, you can do attach process and just do it on your actual computer. Since I'm doing it on my actual server, I'm going to type its name in there. And what we are looking for is one of these W3 WPs. Now, due to a new thing from Microsoft, they used to say the names of what they were. Now they don't. So we have to guess. I'm going to guess it's this one, just because I have other processes that run all the time, and that's a lower number. These process ID numbers, they assign in order numerically, so we go with the big one. The way, if it isn't right, see how these look right now? It's pretty much what it's going to look like. Still waiting for it to come back up. There we go. So as long as these stop signs are filled in here, we're good. If you've seen just a second ago how they were a little hollow with a little warning sign on it, that means we didn't connect to the correct process, but we did connect to it. So the only thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to come back to the web browser. I'm going to click this little sign up button. But I want you guys to see what's on the code side. So you're not going to see what I'm doing here. There. It stops right at the beginning where we're told to stop. Now, it's already ran a couple things. So it's already done this page load. It's also done a bunch of other ones like page load is complete and incomplete, pre-render. It's done preload as well. So at this point, this is where it starts doing the stuff before it starts rendering the web page. So let's go through. Now I'm going to use my keyboard for this, but we're going to do either step over or step into. There are some things that we don't want to step into, some we do. So I'm going to do mostly step over, which is F10. What that will do is it'll go down to the next line of code. I found out we didn't even need this code here, so we're good. Tells you how long it takes for each of these. So let's, well, this is the email one. Let's see what comes back up. We know this is not a valid email. Oh, yep, see? It's not a valid email. Boom, we're telling it not valid. We're grabbing length strings here. These are, as you know, our alpha remover is going to remove anything that's not numbers. And as you can see right here, it's equal to just quotes. They're just saying it's equal to an empty string. Kind of like what we did up here. So let's go down a couple more. Open the database. Okay, it's telling us frame code is not right. The length, that's 0. Good. Good. Then enter first name. Then enter last name. Then put in an answer. My password length doesn't match what we're asking for, so we're just going to go ahead, keep on going. Okay, so here's where I was talking about. See, the length of the error is 383 characters. Ooh, let's throw that exception here. Boom. We're exception. Okay. So this is equal to nothing. So this is, we were throwing an error on the error. So I go through, it's going to say, look, exception thrown, option is not set to an instance of an object. Okay, so that tells us something that we got wrong up top. So let's stop the debugging real quick. We're going to see that wonderful error on the web browser side. Let's go back up here, because this is where we're really going to need it. So if memname is not nothing. So if it's not nothing, there's something there. Oh, I forgot. Is not is one word here. Same thing here. Let's build this sucker up. One fail. Oh, where'd I fail? Oh. You also have an error list here. It's real nice. It tells you some things like max content width. Maybe it's not up to date on all the new CSS stuff. That's fine. We're going to ignore that. Output was successful. That's all the thing that we really care about. Let's go ahead and go back to sign up. It's doing its thing, rebuilding. There we go. So now if we click sign up, it should give us a bunch of errors. Yes, this is what we wanted. Yes. So let's do a test right now. We know we already have a user called test at Guy Cohol. let's just put Tessa Geico Hall here. Yes, that's what we wanted to do. Woo. Let's try again. This time, let me pull the friend codes from the other. Let me see. User profiles. Show data. Okay. So friend code is all one. So 111111111111. They should also say I already exist. Same friend code. Good. Let's go back. Delete that out. We know this is 2222, 2222, 2222. Dream code didn't check, correct? Okay, dream code's all threes. 3333, 3333, 3333. Let's check our thing, because this should be throwing us to the other page, to the other panel. Oh yeah, look, it's checking the friend code and friend code. Let's rebuild the sucker. Go back to our web browser where the refreshes are in process. I put designer code for both of them. Dream code, designer code. Let's refresh that. Hit sign up. There we go. Dream code, we're good there. And then lastly, designer code. This one should be all twos. So that's 12 numbers there. We're just doing a check. Ah, look! Designer code already registered in the system. Use forgot password. Woo! Good, so that part's doing what we wanted to do. We'll just refresh real quick. Email address, we already tested all those out. Now let's go ahead and, well, if we click this, we can see now valid email, friend code, designer code. Okay, so it's pretty much doing all the other errors. Let's actually set up somebody here. I'll use my real name here. Guy Kohal, good. Friend code, I'm just gonna do I didn't use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 2. We're just gonna use that for all three of these just to get entered. I'm gonna click a couple of these different just to see how many bones have I broken in my life. 1, I don't want that. What color are your father's eyes? Ash. Password. Oh, authentication required. It's because I deleted my password out of there. But did it create a user? That is the question here. Can refresh this. Ah, it's got the info here. Okay, true. Did one false, that's good. Did it actually create the user in here? So you deleted the user. Again, I'm not really concerned about there being an entry in there when there shouldn't be. I mean, it's not really what we want, but we can run some cleanup code, because if you have a couple 100,000 people in there, there's going to be multiple errors that happen that makes it so this generates. So we can clean this up later on. I'm not worried about that. Let's see. So to keep this confidential, let me see. Let's go back here. Actually, let's just do this. You're going to look at my ugly mug for a moment here while I get this all situated. Let's see. Okay, almost there, guys. This will be pretty much it for the night once we get this done. So do you guys have any questions at all? Let's try this again here. We'll have to compile first. Let's see what it gives me now. Also, guys, if you haven't done it yet, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Oh, email already exists. Let me double check my user table real quick. Oh, friend code's already registered. Should have read the text first. So yeah, let me delete that one out just so we can get it to go through. There we go. Yay, it sent us an email verification. Oh, what did I send through for the verification link? Well, let's see here. Go back to the code. Oh, wrong page. I'm just saying that code that has a string there. I'm not really building anything with it. So that'll probably be what we do next week. Let's see if I got the email. Oh, look. Happening now. Oh, protesters. Welcome to Pittsburgh. Go away. Look, here's what we got. Isn't that cool? Woo! If we click it, it's going to obviously give us an error because it's going to try to go to some weird website. If we look in the bottom left-hand corner, you guys can see where this link is headed to. It's headed to Nowhere Good. We really haven't set up anything as far as catching this link. So, that'll be what we do next week. We're going to go ahead and clean up this link, maybe get us an icon, and then we should be able to, at this point, log in with that new user. Seems like we've been doing pretty good. So what do you guys think? So a template that will be what we could have on our own website. Yeah, basically the templates is because I'm really lazy when it comes to it. If I were to try to write that out each and every time, I would have line upon line. I mean, look at the template again real quick. Let me pull that up. The template is a lot of code. And by a lot of code, I mean a lot of code. I would have to have 40 lines of code. Not just the 40 lines of code, but every place where you see one of these placeholders that I've made, I'd have to go ahead and fill those in manually. And then, don't even get me started with quotes. Quotes are a pain in the butt. If I wanted to do something like, let me just create a temporary variable. As string. Let's say if I want to say, and I said, quote, no, I don't do that, unquote, to the mayor. So that's our string. Now our string technically is everything inside these main quotes. So we're intending it to look like that. Or kind of like that, sorry. spacing sucks. But that's not what we're going to get. As you see, we have an error. It's expecting me in the statement. So in order to get a single or a set of quotes, you have to do them twice. So now that will get us what we wanted. So if you look in the template again, where did I put my template? Template. I'm just not seeing. Oh yeah, there it is. All these quotes, I'd have to worry about managing all those double quotes all over the place, and that's a pain in the butt. So yeah, I use this template. You can set up templates for everything. You can set up one, like, let's say if somebody, like Facebook back in the day, when they used to go ahead and fill up your inbox within a couple hours just by people liking and commenting your post. Same thing here. Just let's look at that scenario. You can have one for a comment, one for a like, one for any reaction, actually. Doesn't matter if it's liked or anything. You can have one if you're monitoring, following somebody if they're posting, or if somebody's responded to your event, or I mean, there's so many different things that you can do. And I mean, if I grab my phone right now, I guarantee you, I have several push messages from Facebook. Yep, I have several of them. Well, you guys can't see them. Got my camera on, but yeah, same thing. Those aren't. I guarantee you, they don't have those coded by hand. They have templates that can make changes to later on. So instead of having to go through, okay, where's my sign up page? What? I mean, we're already at 155 lines of code just in this, and there's still more that we have to add to this just to clean it up more. We don't need this line. We never really used that. But yeah, there's a lot more that we can add to this to clean it up and make it a little bit better. Do some more checks here, because we did go ahead and have like max length as well. I didn't really look into that. So yeah, the templates do help out a lot. And as far as like your email, like sending an email, I've been doing the sending emails through my web server for years. So I know what my credentials are, how it works. I know Google does allow you to send email through them. You just have to go through hoops to get it first set up. And once you get it first set up, they allow you to send more and more and more. It's just that initial, they don't want somebody spoofing your account and sending some god-awful emails to people that you don't know. But yeah, the templates are your best friend when it comes to it. Anything that you can do a template. Heck, even our website has templates within itself. Ooh, it's because I didn't verify my account. So if you guys look, I didn't verify yet. Oop, I don't want to send that. Log in. But what happened? It's not to do with my password. It's because this particular user is not active yet. And the way we can tell, I mean, obviously they can't log in. I went ahead and pulled up the membership table, and let's do some matching up. Well, we can see Guy Hall is approved, false. I'm also not locked out. I also have had any password fails. Let's fill the password real quick. Let's see. Does it keep track of it? It must not care since I'm not approved yet. Yeah, failed password. Temp account. Let's try it on the other. I'm trying it on the test account real quick. failed the password ones. Oh yeah, look there. One failed attempt. I wonder, does it reset now if I log in? So I just logged in. Yep, see, I just reset to 0. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that built in here. I want to see if it changes this to right now. Yep, look, see, failed password attempt. So that maybe when our user logs in, before it authenticates the user and erases this information, I can do a pop-up saying, "Hey, look, you've had 7 failed attempts. Last failed attempt was on that day." So this is all cool stuff that you can actually play around with later on. You can kind of see our password question. Color of your eyes. But here's what I love about the databases. There's no way to tell what this is. When they went ahead and the way the passwords work is they take a unique identifier. Let's say your user ID. Okay? They take that and what you type in, pump it through a function, and the function returns this gobbledygook. Now there's no way that you can put this in with your user ID again and get the actual text. It doesn't work like that. What it does is, like, for example, your password. Let's use that example. It's perfect. Makes it easy to understand. So your password is this long string of gobbledygook. So what you do is when you type in your password, it takes your password and your user ID, pumps it through a function, and gets this. If it doesn't match up, we know your password's not right, without even knowing what your password is. It's pretty neat. But that pretty much wraps things up for today. So what do we do today? We finished off the user sign up, actually getting the user into the database, getting all the checks, making sure there's no duplicate users, nobody's using the same friend codes or anything like that. We've went ahead and set up some sign up codes, which, where's our sign up code database? We should have another one in there. Yep. This won't matter that there's 2 of them here. We'll see that next week. So we got the user to sign up. We got an email to send. So next week we're going to go ahead and finish cleaning up the email. Maybe make it a little bit more pretty. We can probably give ourselves a little icon. I'm going to see if a friend of mine can make one up for us. And just do the validation part. So we're going to do the email verification side of things. And if we get done with that, maybe work on some other stuff. Who knows? We have so much we can do here. But yeah, so for this week we got all that done. So back to what I was saying about YouTube channel. For those who don't know, I do have a YouTube channel set up here. I think you can just search for not found PGH maybe. No, I'm still not being picked up by the algorithm yet. But I will go ahead and post it in the on the website here. Actually, let me see if I can get to it by signing in real quick. my videos. So you guys can see it. I'm popping in the chat real quick here. Yeah, they don't give me a wonderful little way to do my channel name just yet. I have to get 100 subscribers in order to be able to change my URL. So I'm only up to 4 right now. So send this around. If you guys want to subscribe, that's great. I post the streams the same night that we do them, so you can review them. And what I'm going to start doing is every 4 episodes, which this is episode number 4, I will go ahead and do a recap video where I pretty much do everything from the beginning. I do mostly copying and pasting, so it makes it go along a little quicker. And we've already alleviated all the errors and stuff, so you'll see exactly how to build it from the beginning, or from episode 1 all the way to the end of episode 4 today. And then next week we'll start the next update episode. We'll get that out in about a month after we get those 4 episodes done, and we're good. So also, guys, on the Twitch page, I have a little thing of what would you like to kind of see on the stream here. Let me see if I can pull it up. So if you're looking at the stream, it's down here, suggestion box. Let me know what you guys want to kind of see here, because after we get this, the new user stuff, we're pretty much gold. We have the base of a website done. Now we have to just go ahead and go through, set up what we want the users to be able to do on the website after they sign up, after they log in. They got past all that hard stuff. Now what are we going to let them do? So let me know what you guys think. Other than that, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight, and we will see you next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Till then, be safe.